Hi everyone, so in today's quick tip video I'm going to show you how to do some mirror stamping using the Stampin' Up Stamparatus and my silicone craft sheet, and the stamp set that I'm using is Turtle and Friends. All these products are available to buy in my online Stampin' Up shop, which is www.applelover53.stampinup.net. And if you live in the UK, Austria, France, Germany or the Netherlands, you can buy any of these products from me. Years ago, when I first got into crafting, mirror stamping was quite popular, and at the time we used to use acrylic blocks. But having a Stamparatus and a silicone craft sheet, it's even easier now. So from Turtle and Friends here, you can see that there are two small circles, and one faces one way and one faces the other. But the big turtle only faces one way. So if you want to make a card or a scrapbook page and have this mirrored, then this little technique may help you. So I'm just going to put the silicone craft sheet on the side, and I'm just going to leave the stamp set there just to give my platform on my Stamparatus just a bit of cushioning. And I've already put down the turtle onto my plate. I'm going to bring in some basic white cardstock, and I'm just going to hold that in place in the corner of my Stamparatus with one of the magnets. Now I may turn this into a card, and if I do, I'll probably colour in the little turtles with my stamping blends. So I'm going to be using Memento Tuxedo Black. Stamping blends are alcohol markers, so you need something that's opposite to stamp with, and in this case this is the Memento, which is water based. So I'm just going to ink up my little turtle, and I'm going to stamp it down onto my piece of white card and lift it up. And the beauty of doing this with the Stamparatus is if you don't get a clean image, you can always put this down and stamp again. Okay, so that's the turtle as it normally is, and the Turtle Friends doesn't have any dies, it has a punch. And if you buy the punch and the stamp set at the same time, you'll save 10% because there's a bundle price for them. But the punch only punches out the big turtle. I'm going to just cut this off now and just put that on one side, and then I'm going to bring in my silicone craft sheet, and I'm going to hold that in place with my magnet, and I'm going to ink up the turtle again, and then this time I'm going to stamp it onto the craft sheet. Then I'm going to lift it up. I'm going to have a look at it and see if it looks okay, and I think it does. But again, the beauty of the Stamparatus is that you can just put it down and go over it. So I'm going to bring in my other piece of card now, and I'm going to gently position this piece of card over where I've stamped. So the way that I like to do it is I butt up the corner to the corner of my Stamparatus, and I butt this edge up to it, so I'm holding it at an angle, and then I just gently position it down and put the magnet back on it. And then I'm going to bring in my ink pad, and I'm going to ink up the turtle again, and I'm going to bring this over and I'm going to stamp it down and then lift it up. And again, if I've not got a good impression, I can bring this over and stamp it down again. Now that does two things. One, it punches the turtle again, which I'll explain in a minute. But then if you lift up this gently and turn it over, you've got your mirror image on the other side. Now, if you've got the punch, all you need to do is punch both your turtles out because they're both the way of the punch, but then when you turn one over, you'll have this one going the opposite way on the back. I'm going to cut mine with the ScanNCut. So that's mirror stamping using a Stamparatus and a silicone mat. And as you can see, if I turn it this way, they now face opposite directions. it is actually more or less perfect. In close up, it's not quite as dark as the original, but you know, invariably you're going to be colouring these in, you know, with blends, or you know, stamping over it with the remainder of the stamps using some Stampin' Up inks. I'll try and bring it in so it's a bit closer to the camera for you to see. Okay, so to save some time, I've loaded the 2 pieces of card onto my ScanNCut mat, and I've switched my ScanNCut machine on. I'm going to go to Scan, Direct Cut. I'm going to say yes, save the memory into the machine for now. And I'm on black and white scan, which I can see from the little icon here, and I'm going to say start. So I'm just going to wait for the machine to recognise and see what it picks up. Hopefully it will pick both of them up, but because the stamped off mirrored version is slightly lighter, I don't know whether it'll pick up all the design or not. So I can see faintly 2 images, so I'm going to say OK. I can see them both now, and you can see all the cut marks on my mat. So I'm going to drag in the drag handles, and I'm going to isolate each one separately, only because I've got all those cut marks and things all over my mat. So I'm going to say preview. I've just dragged the handles into the top icon. I can see that I've got a few extra bits there, so I'm going to drag in that side a little bit more. Say preview again, and that looks fine. So now I'm going to say OK. I'm going to go to offset and add a 0.04 offset and say OK. And then I'm going to select cut. And I know there's a bit of a glare on here, but I am going to do this again, so hopefully you'll see it clearer in a minute. But there's my first little turtle. So I'm going to say select and cut and start. Okay, so that's finished. So I'm going to say OK. I'm going to hit the back button and again, and then I'm going to drag the drag handles down to my second little turtle, which was my mirror image, and hopefully pick up this area. I'm going to say preview, and I can see the turtle, and I can see I've got some extra little bits on the side, so I'm just going to drag in that handle a little bit more. Say preview again, wait for it to process. Hopefully it'll get rid of all those little stray cut marks, and that all looks okay. So I'm going to say OK. I'm going to go to offset again, press the plus icon to give me a 0.04 offset, say OK, OK, select and cut, and now it's going to cut my other little turtle when I press start. Okay, that's finished. I'm going to say OK and unload the mat. So I'm just going to put the mat on the side because I don't think I can get it all in the shot, but there are my 2 designs, and this mat's actually very sticky, so I'm just going to bend it ever so slightly. In fact, I'm going to turn it over and just wait for the card to start to lift and then peel away. Both the waist pieces, and then again I'm going to do the same, just bring my little turtle off the mat as it's bending itself. When you bend the mat, it kind of gets a little bit of air under a corner normally, and then you're able to, you know, lift it off. So this is the little turtle stamped as it comes from the stamp set, and then this is the mirror image that I did use in the silicone mat, and if you look on the other side, there is the turtle that I stamped, and I said if you've got the punch you could punch it out. So I've got a mirror image now of my original turtle, which I can then turn into a card, and all made using the Stamper Artist and a silicone craft sheet. Please give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you don't already do so, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.